Unlock your dream property with Meeks Realty Group, where Rich the Realtor makes real estate dreams a reality. Whether it's residential or commercial, we've got Charleston to Huntington covered. Your key to exceptional real estate experiences start here. Meeks Realty Group. Contact us at meeks.us.
The views and opinions expressed on this program do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of 580 WCHS, its employees, or WVRC Media. From the studios of WVRC Media, the country, the United States of America, the state, West Virginia, the city, Charleston. This is the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live. And your host.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
He's kind of a big deal.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
Dave Allen.
Hey, folks, good Tuesday morning to you. Welcome to the show. Ryan Nicholson is our producer today. Bigly, Piggly, Wiggly, hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor, text 304-935-5008. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is sponsored by Thornhill Auto Group, including Thornhill Mitsubishi on the Thornhill Motor Mile. US 119 in Chapmanville make this summer the summer for you and your family to enjoy a 2024 Mitsubishi Outlander or Outlander plug-in hybrid. See Thornhill for all the details. And we come to you from the Par-Mar Store Studio. Par-Mar, again, helping to sponsor the Adelphia Summer Concert Series in Marietta, Ohio. That's only a 90-minute drive from downtown Charleston. This Friday night, get ready for the Pop 2000 Tour, featuring Chris Kirkpatrick of NSYNC, O-Town, BB Mac, Ryan Cabrera, and LFO. Then Saturday night, Ace Frehley of KISS, Steven Adler of Guns N' Roses, and Van Halen. Fan with an F. Van Halen. It's kind of a tribute band type thing. For tickets or more, visit theadelphia.com. And if there's not a Par-Mar store near you now, there will be soon. Phone calls to the show and service of Bigly, Piggly, Wiggly on Spring Street. Texting services provided by West Virginia's finest men's store, Tony the Tailor, on Virginia Street. Visit bestmastertailor.com. Coming up this morning, we got Delegate Hollis Lewis is going to be stopping by. We're going to talk to him about some legislative stuff, but also about a summit or gathering, if you will, that's coming to Charleston a little later on. Delegate Lewis and I will get into that. Plus, the announcement made, I guess, late last week that one of Charleston's most iconic businesses, Pugh Furniture, was going to be closing their doors after 108 years in business. Beth Pugh is going to join us to discuss that a little bit later on. And how about some pot? Yeah, the city of Charleston is taking a look at a proposal. Well, it's actually a committee as part of city council, a proposal, and there's some petitions that have gone around, and it's a little complicated. I'm going to try to get into that a little bit later on as well. Plus your phone calls and text are welcome as always. Bigly, Piggly, Wiggly, hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Tailor, text 304-935-5008. Want to talk a little pickleball to start us off, though. Johnny Rutherford and Todd Fowler here. Good morning, gentlemen. Johnny, Metro 911. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Dave. Appreciate you having us here.
Let me have you come into that microphone a little bit closer. You're a tall guy, so you need maybe raise it up just a tad.
All right.
There you go. And Todd Fowles with us. Hey, Todd, how are you, man?
I'm doing great, Dave. Thank you.
All right. So, calling what you guys are doing in Nitro later this week would be, if I called it a tournament, it would be kind of slight on my part because there's so much more that goes on with this. Just take it from the top, and then we'll get into specifics. Johnny, we'll start with you.
Okay. Well, first of all, it's an event. This is our second year. We have over 200, right at 200 players coming in from 15 different states coming in. Todd will talk about some of the pros we have coming in. Friday night is community night. We invite everybody to come out. Free swimming at the Nitro Complex. Free. There's music. There's a pickle eating contest. Free pickleball play. If you don't know how to play pickleball, Kyle Mullins, we give them free pickleball lessons for people to learn. And we have a full day Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of pickleball. It's going to be a lot of fun. We encourage people to come out and watch, come out and learn, and it's free. Come out and enjoy themselves.
And we got people, as you said, we talked about having the top-ranked female player in the world here. We had her on the show the last time you guys were here. We'll get into that a little bit later on. But as far as the level of players that are coming in, I mean, we got them coming from all over, Todd.
Yeah, we do. We have Virginia, Maryland, Pennsylvania, Idaho, Florida. 14 different states, like Johnny said. So, the purse was $15,000, which enticed a lot of people to come and play from a higher level perspective. And we have right now at least a dozen certified pro players coming. So that's amazing.
And again, every time you guys are on, I talk about this, about the popularity of pickleball. I mean, this thing is gone, and it's a sport that pretty much anybody can play. As you said, we have pro-level players coming in. You've got, basically, to use other analogies, you've got Aaron Judge coming in. You've got you've got Patrick Mahomes. Those I'm just trying to give people an analogy of how big these players are and the notoriety of these players that are coming in. But you've also got, the guy down the street as well. Everybody.
Mr. Mullins, one of our instructors with the Charleston Pickleball Club, he averages 20 people a week on his beginner's class. He gives a beginner class down Nitro, and he averages 20 people a week. So it's really growing every week. It grows.
Yeah.
And let's talk about Susanna Barr. We had her on the show the last time you guys were here, and we called her up. I think she was actually in her home in Idaho. That's
right, Idaho.
And what a great story. I mean, a veteran, so we thanked her for her service on the air, but she's as good as it gets. I mean, she's the best, right?
Yes, she's in her group, which is the APP, Association of Pickleball Professionals. She's the number one female doubles ranked, and we're very happy to have her. She's also traveling with her partner in coaching, who is Dominic Catalano. He's an ESPN commentator for the APP League, and they're going to be putting on clinics. So the next big thing we want to make sure people are aware of is Friday and Monday. We have some clinics, 8 to 10 and 10 to 12, Friday and Monday, and they're going to be putting them on. So it's a once-in-a-lifetime chance for people to get some instruction from some really high-level people. So she's not only going to play, she's coming to help teach.
Oh, that's awesome. I mean, it's kind of giving back and giving something. When we had her on the show a couple of months ago, she talked about that, about wanting to give back to people. Let's talk about things going on just for the general community, though. I mean, there's a community night. Talk about that, Johnny.
Friday night's exciting for us. We're still looking for pickle eaters. We're having a pickle eating, the Mount Olive pickle eating contest.
Now, how many did you did this last year? Do you remember how many the winner ate last year and what the time frame was?
5 minutes to eat pickles. The winner had 11 pickles, and
no, we're talking like full size
kosher deal pickles.
Okay.
He won. He did 11. You win $100 in the pickle trophy, which is the highlight of the night.
Okay.
And like I said, there's free music, free swimming, free pickleball lessons.
And this is all taking place where?
At the Nitro Sports Complex, and it's all free. And we invite the community to come out. We have a lot of fun. That's the event part. Then the real serious tournament after that.
I mean, I think that it's great too that not only are you doing this out of Nitro, and hats off to the folks with Nitro as well with the city and whatnot, because it takes a lot of people to pull this thing off. But you're giving something for people back for the community that may not even play pickleball.
Exactly.
Just to come and learn about the sport and eat some pickles.
And we'll have food trucks. We're gonna have a good time. It'll be a lot of fun. We want people to come out and enjoy themselves.
Absolutely. Again, we're talking with Todd File and Johnny Rutherford about this big event. Let's talk about sponsors. I mean, I know Ohio Valley Bank has been a real big part of this. Mention any other sponsors that you need to, or do you still need sponsors?
Well, of course, we're always looking for sponsors, but we're in good shape. The community has supported us a great deal, so we're in good shape right there. And so we're always looking, and some of our sponsors, I'll be glad to mention them here.
As soon as he finds the sheet, in other words.
Yeah, there you go.
I got you, man. I know all about it. I got like 48 pieces of paper for every 10-minute segment here. So,
well, I'm just going to go real quick. Ohio Valley Bank, Motorola, Abbott's Wrecker, Advantage, Calvin Royals Jewelers, City National Bank, Copley's, Doug Scaff, Tim DePiro, Encova, Hutch's Wrecker, Masonberry, Mount Olive Pickles, the City of Nitro, 3PS, USI, Warner Law Office, Zetron, and CRW Airport. So we have a lot of sponsors. We have a lot of community input.
Talking again about the big pickleball event that's happening over the next. So it all starts on Friday, and it actually will run through Monday, I guess, with the lessons. And
the last clinics will be finishing up Monday at noon. Yep.
But Dave Allen Show on 580 Live brought to you in part by Jute for the best in security systems for both your home or business. Talk to Jute of Tays Valley. Visit protectedbyjute.com. It's JOOT.com. And you're talking about this $15,000. That's on the line, I guess, is there like a grand prize winner or this event?
The $15,000 is a total purse, and we have 5 open events, which is what the pros will play in. And each one of those events has a certain amount of money on the line. So there'll be first, second, and third place monetary prizes for those. So that's where it really gets competitive.
And Todd, if I'm correct, Sunday's the main day for the pros. Is that correct?
Well, yes. So if you're really interested, I mean, Saturday's going to be big. We'll have the women's doubles and the mixed doubles. But Monday, you're going to see some pretty exciting, or Sunday, you're going to see some pretty exciting stuff. The men's singles, which there are 16 people entered, will start at 8 a.m. And the men's doubles, which there are 14 teams registered, will start around noon. And if you want to see some high-level play, if you really want to see what the next level's like, that would be a great time to come by and see.
And what if people want to – go ahead, Johnny. You had another point.
Well, and I was just going to make the point, too. We have a lot of pros playing. Come watch them. But there's a lot of people like me who aren't that good that play in between. So just come out and support your friends and enjoy the time.
And I'm still fascinated by this pickle eating contest. All right. So how much does the grand prize winner get? Or a trophy? Or
$100 cash.
$100 cash.
And a trophy. And if you're interested, go on the Metro 911 Facebook page and send us a message, and we'll contact you and get you signed up.
All right. How are the sign-ups going so far?
We're about halfway there. We need more.
Okay, we need more.
But we're doing fine.
Do you divide people up into like men, women, or is it just all together, any age groups or anything? Because I know last week at Regatta, at the hot dog eating contest, they had everybody just there together. So
we're all together. The only thing we watch is you have to be over 18 years of age.
You have to be 18.
Yes.
And you should be able to. That I'm not thinking about entering. Don't get me wrong. Okay, but you said it was 11. Just regular size pickle. We're not talking hamburger deals. We're talking about full size pickles. They ate 11 in 5 minutes.
Yes,
is that what you said?
Mm-hmm.
I think that should be attainable to somebody.
I think you should come out and do it.
I didn't say that. I just said I think that should be attainable. You mentioned the Facebook page. Is that the best place for people to get information about this event, Johnny?
Come to the Metro 911 Facebook page. You can call our non-emergency number if you'd like at 746-7911, but the Facebook page is best.
And let's talk about proceeds from all this. I know you said these things are free for people to come out, but there are certain ways to raise money here. So where do the proceeds go?
Well, after we pay for the tournament, of course, this money is spent to support the 911 Employee Association. And we have hardworking employees every day. They're doing CPR on the phone until an ambulance arrives. They're taking care of citizens while emergency personnel are en route. And what we do, we use this money to when someone does CPR and is able to save a life or just does a real good job, we give them a gift card for $25 or whatever to go out and have dinner, and just a way to reward them. We can't always pay what we should, and this is just a way to reward our employees.
All right. Well, guys, I appreciate you being here. And again, just go over to the Metro 911 Facebook page. It's going to be several days. I guess my mind didn't wrap itself around that it was Monday as well. So it's a great way to get lessons from the best in the business. You got how many states represented again, Todd? 15 different states. Far away is probably Idaho's probably the furthest away.
Idaho's the farthest right now.
Yeah, they're all coming in for this thing. So it's all at the Nitro Sports Complex. Johnny, Todd, I appreciate you guys being here. Thanks a lot.
Thanks.
Thank you.
It is 9:20. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you in part by your hometown baseball team, the Charleston Dirty Birds. Birds begin a 3-game homestand tonight against Gastonia tonight. $2 Tuesday presented by Embassy Suites and Breeze Airways. $2 game tickets, $2 hot dogs, $2 popcorn, $2 sodas as well for tickets. Schedules, merchandise, and more. Visit dirtybirdsbaseball.com. Biggly Piggly Wiggly hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor text 304-935-5008. We're going to take a break. When we come back, Delegate Hollis Lewis is here on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
The Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses. Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses want to thank you for supporting local small businesses.
Make this summer the summer in a new 2024 Mitsubishi Outlander or Outlander plug-in hybrid. With its premium interior, 2 years limited maintenance included, and an industry-leading warranty. Drive home today starting at $28,395. The moment is now at Thornhill Mitsubishi. Super all-wheel control is an available feature on all trim levels. Manufacturer suggested retail price. Excludes destination handling, tax, title, license, dealer charges, and options. All supplies last. Limited availability at participating dealers may require placing an order and can cause a delay in delivery. Retailer price, terms, and vehicle availability may vary. See your local Mitsubishi retailer for details.
Welcome to Pugh Valley, where we've been in business since 1908. Today, we serve Roane, Kanawha, Putnam, and surrounding counties. We believe you deserve banking that provides friendly customer service. For all of your financial needs, stop by one of our 8 convenient locations. Call us at 844-782-2651 or visit us online at PocaValleyBank.com. Poca Valley, where relationships matter.
Member FDIC.
This radio commercial was made to convince you to stop speeding. We can't use siren sound effects on the radio, so we'll use other equally jarring sound effects to get your attention. Like telling you that whether you drive a little over the speed limit or a lot, you can crash just the same. You could hurt yourself or worse, others.
I'm at the scene of the collision.
And the damage you cause will be beyond repair. See? We didn't have to use crash or siren sounds after all. Speeding catches up with you.
Paid for by NHTSA.
922, Dave Allen Show and 580 Live, brought to you part by Pinnacle Consultants. Pinnacle offers a 4-phase assessment for your properties: inspection, sampling and analysis, comprehensive reporting, and management planning. Visit pinnaclecorp.net, because what you don't know can hurt you. Bigley, Piggly, Wiggly, hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor, text 304-935-5008. Hoppy Kirchhoff will coming up with Talk Line at 10:06. Senate President Craig Blair on the governor's proposed tax cuts, some homeschooling talking. And what's President Blair going to do in the future? You'll recall the Senate president was defeated in the May primary. He does, of course, remain in office, though, till next January. So what does he do next? He and Hoppy will discuss. Stephen Allen Adams of Ogden Newspapers is on with Hoppy today. They have we've got some WVU track stars who have qualified for the Olympics. Hoppy will get into that with them, plus Wheeling Mayor and Democratic candidate for U.S. Senator Glenn Elliott, Jonathan Savage from Fox News Radio, and the NATO Summit and more. Loaded up show with Hoppy coming up at 10:06 from the Encova Insurance Studios in the Dale Miller Building in Morgantown. I want to welcome into the show Delegate Hollis Lewis. Good morning, sir.
Morning. How you doing? Thanks for having me, sir.
Thank you for being here. I was just talking to Johnny Rutherford and Todd File about that big deal with the pickleball out at Nitro, at the Nitro Sports Company. You ever play pickleball?
You know what? My wife bought me a pickleball set, or the kids bought me a pickleball set for Father's Day. So, I'm a tennis player, so I played as an adult. So I'm anxious to get out there and learn pickleball.
Well, they're giving free lessons out there. Well, actually, no, I'm sorry. They're giving lessons out there. I don't think that they're free, but the event itself is free. Yeah. Bring the kid, and a pickle eating contest too.
Okay. Well, I like a good dill pickle.
Oh yeah. Well, these are big deli style pickles. But anyway. Well, I got some legislative stuff I want to discuss with you a little bit later on, but you've got an event coming up in Charleston that you wanted to talk about. It's the Crisis Intervention Teams Summit. Give us the overall view on that.
Okay. Crisis Intervention Teams, or CIT, is a partnership between law enforcement, community advocates, mental health professionals, and different community partners in order to build a better response to persons in crisis. The summit, we bring together professionals from around the region to network to, for those who already have established CIT programs, for those who want to have CIT programs, just to learn more about it from, subject matter experts in the field.
Now, what is your role in all this?
Well, I work for First Choice Service, so I'm the West Virginia CIT project director. So our job is to, number one, help facilitate trainings through agencies around the state, and we just help build these CIT programs in various communities. And the thing is, with CIT, it's community-based. So a CIT program, we do have national standards. However, it's going to look different from community to community. So it actually helps and can help facilitate any problems in your community, and hopefully come up with some good solutions.
What's a daily? What's an average day in this sort of field look like? I mean, I know there's no such thing as an average day, but what's it look like? What do you do?
Well, again, it's just like I said, working with law enforcement, working with persons in what we call the crisis continuum. What we do is we help facilitate 40-hour trainings, because you want to send a certain percent of your agency or department to get this 40-hour training, and it helps with de-escalation tactics. Is going to help building those community connections, because a lot of times we don't even know the services that are in our community. So that's what we want to do, and that's what we try to help establish.
And this event's going to be when?
This is July 29th through the 31st. You can learn more about it at
WVCIT.com.
And it's all going to be here in?
It's going to be here in Charleston at the Embassy Suites.
All right. Well, you can have a lot of people out for this thing, I would imagine.
Yeah, we will. Like I said, we'll have leaders, officials and leadership from various, firefighters to law enforcement to mental health professionals, advocates, and so on here. So it's going to be a great event, great for networking and great for learning about
And there
CIT.
are so many different parts, Delegate, that go into this. I would think, like you said, this is when you think about the crisis intervention team. But I didn't even thought about, the first responders are part of that. Obviously, they're going to be, but I guess my mind was thinking paramedics, not firemen. But they're all important in this.
Yeah, 100%. Because what you have to realize from our research, about 50% of dispatch calls, particularly to law enforcement, are of a crisis nature. So law enforcement are the de facto behavioral health professionals in a lot of communities that don't have these sort of they don't have the facilities and don't have the services that Charleston may have throughout the state of West Virginia. So it's very important that, number one, we know what's in our community and that we have the proper training so that we can help facilitate some and manage some of these crisis situations.
And Charleston, again, has got a lot of, as you said, a lot of resources, but not so much when you get into some of the smaller, more rural
100%.
areas.
100%. This is important. And then in addition, it helps with liability issues. So overall, it's just it's a great thing. And like I said, this is going to be a great event to, connect the dots and just to meet people from around the state who are interested in this work.
And give us the date again.
It's going to be July 29th through the 31st at the Embassy Suites in Charleston, West Virginia. You can go to WVCIT.com to learn more.
And there's a lot of information available. You sent me a link yesterday, Delegate, and I studied it yesterday evening. There's a lot of information there, and I'm going to get that contact information back out to you as we wrap up the segment a little later on. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you in part by Huston's Pizza. This month at your favorite Huston's, order any regularly priced large 10-inch pizza and get a 2-liter Pepsi at no additional charge. So I said we'll circle back to that a little bit later on, but I want to talk about your role as a legislator. First of all, how's it going? I mean, you just kind of got thrown in there.
Yeah.
So.
This is my first session, so I was able to sit back and I learned a lot. And we want to be on the right side of history with the same things we do. I'm a Democrat. We got a small contingency, but we fight hard for things we believe in.
A lot of the talk out of state government these days, Delegate, seems to be about the budget surplus. The governor had the presser last week with the balloons and everything. I think you were part of that. What is your take on all this excess money the state has?
To have excess, it's always good. When we talk about tax cuts, we don't want to cut ourselves to death, right? We want to make sure that we're still able to, fix our roads and provide the services that people need.
But you got to do things, as you said, as others have said too. They have to be done responsibly.
Yes, sir.
And the governor is scheduled to be, I think, looking at calling you folks back, possibly later this summer. Where we're going to discuss tax cuts, more tax cuts. In addition, there's been some pause. Even you mentioned you're a Democrat. There's been some pause even from some Republicans. I know Senate Finance Chair Eric Tarr, who's going to be on this show tomorrow, was one that kind of just said, "Okay, let's just hold on a minute here." And anybody that knows Senator Tarr knows that he's one that tends to be more frugal with the spending, and sometimes it puts him at odds with the governor. Where are you on these tax cuts?
Well, I would say I have a similar sentiment. We don't want to cut ourselves where we're actually cutting into services that the people of this state need. So I think we should slow down, make sure that we are doing things deliberately and intentionally. However, like I said, we don't want to hurt services that are desperately needed within our state.
Yeah, I mean, again, you got to take a look at it and make sure that you're doing all the right things.
And again, when it comes to budget issues, you don't want to move fast. You want to move slow to make sure that everything's accounted for.
And we still got some issues we have to deal with, a lot of issues, and it's been all over the news, as you well know. And this kind of goes to your daytime job, I guess, a little bit. You probably touch on this a little bit, and it has to do with CPS and it has to do with foster care. So we got a lot of issues there, Delegate.
A lot of issues. I think the last number was about 6,000 kids in foster care, so it's still growing.
One of the highest rates in the nation.
Rates in the nation, yeah. So I think the rates are still growing, unfortunately. So we want to make sure that we can start to. I think we got to reach out to families. We got to get more education out to communities to see, where maybe some of these kids can be placed at, and families that are suitable to actually take in some of these kids, and make sure that our system is
actually reaching out to family members of these kids to place them in, with blood relations.
And there has been, during this whole crisis, whether it's the Kennedy Miller situation in Boone County, you had the horrible situation with the kids out in the Sissonville area. Yeah. There have been so many of these, and it seems like there's been a lot of finger pointing going around, from a lot of different sources, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, and it's a tough. These are very, very tough circumstances. So finger pointing is not going to help. We want to make sure that we just have a more streamlined system where we have open communication. And, we're giving our CPS workers, we're giving our agencies the resources that they need in order to do the job to the best of their abilities.
Talking again with Delegate Hollis Lewis. All right, we'll get away from the Capitol and go back to the daytime. I can't have a sitting legislator here not ask him a couple questions.
I knew that was coming. It's all
right. Let's get back to this summit again in case people are tuning in late. Give us the overview of it and give us the dates and give us the websites and the stuff. Go ahead.
Okay, Crisis Intervention Team Summit. It is going to be July 29th through the 31st here in Charleston at the Embassy Suites. It's going to be a 3-day event where you're going to have the opportunity to learn from subject matter experts in CIT from around the state and around the region. If you're interested in, establishing a CIT program, if you want to have a form of better methodology, this is the event for you. If you're just a community partner that's, that wants to improve our response to these persons in crisis, because as we mentioned earlier, here in West Virginia, we have a substance use disorder problem. We have a mental health problem. So I think this is going to be pertinent for all agencies and all, towns and leadership involved.
All right. And again, hit that just one more time. I want to hit the Facebook page, website. Yeah. What else you got there?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So you can find out more information at WVCIT.com. That's WVCIT.com.
All right, Delegate Hollis Lewis, always a pleasure to have you on the show. I appreciate you being here, man. Thanks a lot. 27 minutes away from Tampa, Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you part by Morgan & Morgan. If you're injured, hire Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. One of the most iconic businesses in Charleston, Pugh Furniture, announcing a couple of days ago that they would be closing their doors after 108 years in business. Beth Pugh, the owner, is scheduled to join us. We'll talk to her coming up in just a matter of moments on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Are you looking for a technical job in the medical field? Generations is growing and looking to add on job-trained physical therapy techs to our rehab team. To apply, visit one of our 7 convenient locations or simply click on us at generationspt.com.
Hey, it's Dave Allen for Parmar Stores. And now that the warm weather months are here, you know where you need to be, your local Parmar store. Heading to the lake, the ball field, or your favorite picnic site, or just working around your place, Parmar has everything you'll need. From gas to grocery, snacks, and much, much more. Download the Parmar app and sign up for the Parmar Rewards Card. Ohio, West Virginia, Kentucky, Maryland, Pennsylvania, and Virginia. If there's not a Parmar store near you now, there will be soon.
Bigley Piggly Wiggly on Spring Street has served 3 generations of shoppers since 1955 as the largest locally owned independent grocery store in the area. The Joseph family owners grew up here, so you know they're invested in the community. They provide the biggest variety of choice meats, the freshest produce, an in-house deli bakery, great wine selection, and more of your favorite brands. Every purchase gives you gasoline points so you can save at our pumps. Order online for pickup at BigleyPigglyWiggly.com. Bigley Piggly Wiggly on Spring Street. No one beats the pig.
Your Putnam County Assessor's Office is mandated to ensure your real estate is evaluated properly and fairly. This year, their field personnel will be in the Taze Valley, Curry, and Hurricane districts to revisit homeowners. Plus, new construction in the county will be assessed. They will be in marked vehicles and will have photo ID and business cards. If you have any questions about this process, visit their website at PutnamCOAssessor.com. That's PutnamCOAssessor.com.
No walls, no limits, just fun. Camden Park is this week's 50-50 Friday. Go ride, play, and have fun at Camden Park with major attractions like the Rattler, Big Dipper, Slingshot, and Haunted House. And you can keep cool with water rides like the Log Flume or Swan Lake paddle boats, located at 5000 Waverly Road in Huntington. Friday at 9 a.m. Go to WCHSnetwork.com and click the 50-50 Friday button to get 50% off gift certificates for Camden Park, courtesy of the WCHS family of networks.
24 minutes away from 10. Ryan Nicholson is our producer today. Special Olympics embodies the true spirit of sportsmanship, not merely about winning medals. It's about being a part of a team, practicing and competing together. The joy and fulfillment derived from these experiences are immeasurable as athletes find their confidence and self-worth through the shared pursuit of victory. West Virginia Enriched, in collaboration with Huntington, invites you to witness the transformative power of Special Olympics. See a video highlighting the Special Olympics at facebook.com/580 WCHS. Bigly Piggly Wiggly hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor text 304-935-5008. It was announced a couple of days ago that Pugh Furniture, one of Charleston's most iconic businesses, would be closing their doors. Beth Pugh from Pugh Furniture joins us now via the Bigly Piggly Wiggly hotline. Beth, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Well, thank you, sir.
Well, thank you for being here. Why? So here's the big question. Why the decision to close?
Well, I'm retirement age. I've been doing this with my husband, Steve, for pushing 40 years. And I have the biggest reason probably is my two darling grandchildren who are 2.5 and will be 4. So I'm just ready to spend a little more time with them and do some traveling and just not have to get up every morning.
I understand that. Give us the history of Pugh Furniture. Now, obviously, you haven't been there the entire time.
No.
I would hope not. But give us the overall history of Pugh Furniture.
Well, my husband's grandfather built the business in 1917 and ran it as wholesale. And we sold tons of wholesale stuff to coal camps and things like that where they had the stores. And so we were strictly wholesale. And then pushing in the 70s, we switched over to retail. And that's the way it's been since then.
And so is this it? I mean, I know that you're going to be stepping away, as you said. You want to spend some time with the grandkids, and you and your you and Steve, of course, worked very, very hard at this business. But is this it?
Well, yes, I think we're going to still maintain like the baby furniture and lift chairs and probably mattresses, but we're scaling way down.
Well, and it's interesting when you said the baby furniture and the chairs and things of that nature, because having been at this company for the last 4 years and another company in town before that, I can hear that in your radio voice. You doing those commercials, talking about those things.
Well, thank you.
And I mentioned that Pugh, of course, is one of the most iconic businesses here in Charleston. Not only servicing Charleston, obviously, but the entire region, and it's tough to see that go away.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it, and we hope people have been great. I've gotten all kinds of hugs and lovely comments, and people sending me notes and stuff. So it's a bittersweet thing.
Indeed, it is. Talking again with Beth Pugh for Pugh Furniture, closing their doors after 108 years. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Bridge Valley. If you're interested in improving your company's IT workforce, please know Bridge Valley offers custom-tailored IT training to bridge the skills gap. Bridge Valley, train for little or no cost with a 50-50 salary match. They can also supply skilled graduates and apprenticeships for your company. Visit bridgevalley.edu/apprenticeships today. Now, I also know, Beth, that having worked on various projects in the community, kind of alongside, with you, as I said, during my radio career, I realize it's always been very important for your family to give back to the community.
Yes, and thank you for bringing that up. We've always loved doing Your All's Hope Room. And we've done, other things. We're doing some school supplies for one organization, and, we do Toys for Tots and stuff like that. So we try to be, to give back, and that was always very important to Steve and I.
We had a text to the show, and I'm going to go ahead and ask you this. Somebody said, why don't you just sell the business? Is that not in the cards?
No, I don't think that is. That's a fair question, but I think with what we have planned to do, that I think what we're doing is the best plan of action for us right now.
All right. So what is the timeline here?
Well, probably, there's no, definite timeline, but probably, 4 or 5 weeks. We hope to have it wrapped up.
Well, I know it's a lot of thought and prayer and meetings and meeting with accountants and retirement people, as you said, has gone in. This wasn't an easy decision for you and your family, Beth. I'm very sure of that.
It was. My daughter and I shed some tears and, debated it, but I think, ultimately we made the right decision.
All right. Well, Beth, you're certainly good to the community over the years, not to mention this radio station, with not only the dollars, the ad dollars, but everything that you folks put back into the community. And it feels like, to me, and I don't know what exactly the whole future is going to be for you guys, we'll work all that out, but it feels to me like a piece of Charleston is kind of going away with this.
Well, that's very sweet. Thank you. I that's part of the bittersweet of it, because we like being down here. We like, seeing the regulars come in, and, you have grandparents buying cribs for their, grandchildren and great-grandchildren. So, we're multiple generations down here.
All right. Well, Beth, I know you got a lot to do. I appreciate you taking time out of your schedule to join us today. Thanks a lot. Beth Pugh of Pugh Furniture on their closing. But, I don't know exactly the entire story, what exactly is going to happen here in the future. I mean, it sounds obviously like Beth's ready to spend some time with those grandkids. But it has been a big part of the Charleston landscape, for many, and again, not just Charleston, but really this entire part of West Virginia. I mean, you travel a lot all over West Virginia, as I do. You'll see some billboards popping up in places you wouldn't expect, for Pugh Furniture. And they've been very good to us here and other places that I've been. But I think what you miss more on a business like that, as you said, it's you walk through the door and you know the people that are there. And every town, every community has a place like that. We certainly had those types of businesses, and some thankfully still are around in my hometown. But when you go in, everybody knows you. It sounds like the opening theme to Cheers here, where everybody knows your name, but they do know you. But it's not just about the product as much as it is about the importance of giving back to the community. And that's what the folks, I think, at Pugh Furniture have done for many, many years. So I appreciate Beth for joining. It certainly was a surprise to a lot of people when they made that announcement. 9:43, Biggly Piggly Wiggly hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor text 304-935-5008. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Live Healthy West Virginia, presented by WVU Medicine. Live Healthy tackles pressing health issues like heart disease, diabetes, Alzheimer's, and RSV. It's a podcast that offers insights into medical breakthroughs and preventative care, featuring WVU Medicine's expert physicians, aimed at fostering healthier lifestyles in and beyond West Virginia. It's a valuable resource for all. Discover the latest episodes on WVMetroNews.com under the podcast menu and start your journey towards better health today. Hey, look here. The rest of the show is yours. Yeah, you got about the next 17 minutes or so to weigh in on anything that you would like to weigh in on. And I do have some text I want to get to, plus some things in the news as well. But as always, call me, Biggly Piggly Wiggly hotline 304-345-5858, or text me, courtesy of Tony the Taylor, 304-935-5008. I had a text about Metro 911 when I had Johnny Rutherford and Todd File on earlier, talking about the pickleball event that's going to be happening this week. And Johnny Rutherford, though, was not really here in his state as far as being on the job this morning, so I didn't feel it was fair to ask him this, but I will. I'm sure Johnny listens to the show every day, and he texts me, so I'll go ahead and read the text, and if he wants to respond to it, he can. If not, the next time I have him on and he's here in his official role as the guy from Metro 911, he can address this then. It says, Dave, speaking of pot, could Johnny Rutherford address why Metro 911 dispatchers aren't allowed to use medical marijuana and have fired hardworking dispatchers for doing so, even with their doctor's recommendation? Meanwhile, prescribed Xanax, Adderall, opiates, and other dangerous prescription drugs are fine. Again, I know John's listening, so if he wants to respond to that, he can. If not, the next time I have him on the show, I will have him. When he's not talking about pickleball, I will have him on to discuss that. Let me see. Text says, it's weird for years. You, meaning me, have explained to everyone in Charleston that you're anti-Trump, which assume isn't because he's a bad person, but because of the damage he can do to this country as a bad person. Yet, until recently, I followed you on social media, and all you do is scream at large Twitter accounts that do anything but relentlessly criticize Biden. I'm ashamed I browsed your history, and you're not so free in chasing the pro-Trump accounts. Is it because pro-Trump accounts will engage and this cult is psycho? But the typical old man is the guy you chase around while platforming local Trump weirdos. You do you, my friend. Not everyone can have actual convictions of the courage required of them. Let me just say this. I was a little late to the game to X, the artist formerly known as Twitter. I have been really, I guess, the last couple of days. Well, okay, let me back up. Let me weigh in on the thing about me being anti-Trump. First of all, as I have said, I did not start out as anti-Trump. You know the story. I've said it 10,000 times. I voted for Donald Trump in 2016. I voted for Donald Trump in 2020. He wasn't my favorite candidate at those particular times, but I voted for him. But after January 6th, that was the first nail in the proverbial coffin on Donald Trump for me. So to say I was always anti-Trump, that's not true, because I wasn't, and I've owned that. Matter of fact, I was perusing some old pictures on my phone the other day and found myself at a campaign event beside a Donald Trump sign. I wasn't really campaigning for Trump. I was at a Republican event and it happened to be there, and I was just happened to be standing there. But I did vote for Trump. Most of my friends are Trump supporters. At least let me say a great number of them are. Sadly, a lot of them, in my opinion, didn't see the writing on the wall with Trump and said it's time to dump this guy. But, you know, as the texter said, you do you, they do them. I don't think that's correct to say that way. But anyway, you get the point I'm making. The last couple of days, though, I've been really, I guess, probably spending a lot of time on this Biden story. And it just so happens that on Twitter or on X that I haven't chased anybody. There are things that just happen to pop up. And I guess I've been a little bit bothered, my opinion only, that many of my friends in the Democrat Party, locally, nationally, or whatever, won't see the writing on the wall with President Biden as they should have seen, my Republican brethren should have seen with Trump, that they need to dump this guy as soon as possible. And I said the same thing. I would have voted for anyone on that stage, except for Ramaswamy because he was crazy, on the Republican stage over Donald Trump. And I have said I will not vote for Donald Trump this time. And I will say, and people say, well, that means you're voting for Biden. No, I am probably, unless something major changes, not voting for president. I will vote. Don't get me wrong. I will vote. But I can't vote for president because I got to look at myself in the mirror every day. And I think that when you look at Donald Trump, my opinion, when you look at Donald Trump and when you look at Joe Biden, neither of them are fit to run this country at this point. And so I hope that, and I really do appreciate the text. I'm sorry that I offended them and they opted not to follow me, but it's, you know how social media works. You know, you just sit down. Ryan, I'm trying to avoid saying sitting on the toilet. Maybe I shouldn't say that. You're sitting down at your desk when you probably should be working, and you just scroll. And those are the things that have a tendency to pop up. And yeah, I commented on a few of them. I certainly did when it came to Biden. But I guess because I just get bothered by people who won't state the obvious when it comes to Joe Biden, that it is time for Joe Biden to step down and to end this. And I don't think Donald Trump should have been there to begin with. So that's just me. Text said, nobody needs that. Text said, I'm so glad that by confirming that you won't vote for Trump or Biden, you have confirmed your support for Jill Stein and the Green Party. No, probably not. Probably not. All right. Text says Trump is a liberal loser. He's ruining the GOP platform. Biden is also a liberal loser. They suck. The party suck, says the texter. Let's see. Let's go to a phone call. Let's see what we got here. Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning. How are you today?
I am fine. How are you, sir? What can I do for you?
Well, I wanted to point out when we're discussing the Biden and Trump thing, I see a problem with all of the media because there's an insane amount of focus on Biden's performance during the debate. Basically everyone knows he has a speech impediment. He's had a stutter his whole life. He does have word-finding issues. But all these are, it's what would be termed communication disorders. it's not a problem with his cognitive ability. It has a whole lot more to do with his language skills. But I don't hear anything whatsoever about Trump's performance during the debate, and the fact that just about every fact-checking either side of the fence has agreed that during his debate he engaged in at least 30 different lies, everything from taxes to wars. Anybody that's interested can Google Trump debate 30 lies, and you'll see that. So why is the media focusing on Biden's speech impediment so much and completely ignoring the fact that the other candidate has an honesty problem?
I think Tim, if I could jump in here, I think when you said that Trump told 30 to 35 lies, I think you're being conservative. I think it was more like 60 or 70.
Well, absolutely, but the 30 is a rock solid number that I looked right. at the evidence, and there's no question that he lied repeatedly, talking about the level of taxes and so on. So many people just don't recognize. He claims he cut taxes, but the tax cuts for folks like me and you are expiring in 2025. That's coming up fast, 6 or 8 months away. Those will expire. And it's all lip service. Of course, his big tax cuts for the corporate and the wealthy folks, those are permanent. No problem there. So why don't we get more focus, though, on Trump's lies, especially if we're going to talk about the debate and Biden's performance? For me, when there's two candidates, one of them has trouble finding the right word, the other one lies his butt off. There's no real choice there. I'm not going to go with the dishonesty. I'm going to go with the guy that's willing to tell the truth, no matter how inconvenient or how uncomfortable it makes me feel.
I understand, Tim, I understand exactly what you're saying. However, can't two things be right at the same time? I mean, can you honestly, and I don't want to be argumentative, but can you honestly, forget about Trump, can you honestly look at Joe Biden and say, this is just he had a cold, this is just he has speech issues, which he's had since childhood, I understand that. Can you honestly think that's all it is, Tim? Now, be honest.
Well, no, he's 80 years old or whatever. I mean, of course he's not thinking as fast. There's no question about that. But I do evidence-based decisions, and I look at the evidence of the past 4 years. I think he's doing great. Right now, the stock market is hitting record numbers. I listen every day to the market guy you have on there, Ed Steik, and every day I hear new records. We're doing great. Unemployment is at some of the lowest levels. It ticked up just a slight little bit here recently, but it's at some of the lowest levels in 40 to 50 years. I look at the infrastructure. He got the infrastructure bill passed. Remember when Trump was going to do it 2 weeks ago?
Yep.
Healthcare, same thing. I see so many of my friends and neighbors able to afford healthcare now. Donald Trump has never released a health care plan. For me, it's as clear as the world. I'm sorry that, that Biden is not as offensive when he speaks publicly. I'm sorry that he's not willing to lie and tell people what they want to hear. But I think that media needs to do a better job of comparing them head to head, and instead of talking about Biden's speech impediment, they need to spend about equal time on Trump's honesty deficit.
All right, Tim, we got to leave it there. I'm overdue for a break. I appreciate you calling, man. Thanks a lot. 6 away from 10. Back after this on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
By the Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses. Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses care for your family.
Looking to buy or sell U.S. coins or currency, or need an appraisal on a coin collection? The Coin Man in St. Albans has been established since 2009, and he's the area's expert in currency. Whether you're buying or selling coins and coin accessories, he's got you covered. But that's not all. He also deals in select antiques and glassware. Visit the Coin Man today at 2412 Kanawha Terrace in St. Albans and discover treasures that transcend time. The Coin Man, where every coin tells a story.
Whatever happened to Tony Horton, the guy who created the revolutionary P90X?
2017, I was knocked down. A very rare type of shingles that went straight into my brain. My body was completely wasting away. I started researching everything related to building my muscle back again. That's when I learned about the potential of HMB plus vitamin D3 and what they can do when it comes to helping build new muscle.
So Tony developed high-impact protein by Power Life.
Just add 1 scoop of high-impact protein to a glass of water or your morning smoothie and enjoy the effects of that boss molecule and factory worker combination. 3 reshaping your body each and every day. More energy, burn more fat, and probably drop a few pounds along the way.
High Impact Protein by Power Life is a tasty once-a-day powder that comes in either whey or plant protein. Go to mypowerlife.com and use code Horton to save 30%. Tony even offers a 90-day guarantee. Go to mypowerlife.com or text Horton to 511-511. Text Horton to 511-511 today. All individuals are unique. Your results can and will vary. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Tax fees may apply.
Every Saturday, you're invited to join me, Chris Lawrence, here on 580 WCHS for West Virginia Outdoors. We're on the air live at 7:06 with hunting and fishing stories from all across the Mountain State. Interesting guests give us insight into the outdoors, game and fish management, and celebrate the enjoyment of West Virginia's two most popular activities. West Virginia Outdoors, presented by the Peyton Law Firm. And if you miss us on Saturday, catch the replay Sunday afternoon. West Virginia Outdoors every weekend here on 580 WCHS, the voice of Charleston.
The Dave Allen Show and 580 Live presented by General Hardware of Winfield and Milton, General Lumber of Winfield. All projects, big and small, shop locally. Visit generalhardwarewv.com. Want to talk about pot for a moment? Story posted at WVMetroNews.com. A petition has been submitted to the city of Charleston to change the city code for simple possession of cannabis. It's called the Sensible Marijuana Ordinance, and it would make penalties as minimal as possible for simple possession. Pretty much taking away jail time and court fees for adults arrested in the city for cannabis possession. Now, they were talking about first-time offenders. There are two bills, as I understand it, that would help to make the change. One would change city code relating to jail time possession, making a first offense basically a non-jailable offense. The second one would amend code, making the penalty for misdemeanor marijuana possession the lowest allowed by state law. Now, the chairman of the committee is Councilman Chad Robinson. He's going to join us on the show tomorrow to talk about this. And this will be taken up at the next regular council meeting, which is next Monday. Now, the group Charleston Can't Wait, you remember them, they collected a bunch of signatures. Corey Zen, who is a supporter of the ordinance, says they have about 2,000 or so valid signatures of support. Now, city charter says ballot initiatives allow residents of the city to introduce to the ballot by petition an ordinance or amendment, and they need about 10% equal to the votes cast in the municipal election. They got about 2,000 of them, according to them, so they're well over that. So why not put it on the ballot? Well, remember, Councilman Robinson wants to work it out through city council so it basically wouldn't go to ballot. It would just be worked out, as best I understand. Again, we'll talk to Councilman Robinson about it tomorrow. It would be worked out basically through council and not go on the ballot. And one of the reasons is money. And I can tell you from my days in the Secretary of State's office, it isn't expensive to pull off a special election or to even add something to a regular ballot. So it may come down to money. Again, I'll get into this tomorrow talking to Councilman Robinson. And in case you are wondering, as we wrap up, Aaron Parker, great story posted at WVMetroNews.com about it. 173 arrests were made in the city of Charleston last year for simple cannabis, which that was the seventh most common reason for arrest. I want to get back into this because it seems to me like an awful lot of energy being spent on something that was only the seventh leading cause of arrest in the city of Charleston last year. All right, we'll get into that with Councilman Robinson tomorrow. Plus, Senate Financial Eric Tarr is on the show tomorrow as well. Thanks to Johnny Rutherford, Todd Vile from Metro 911, Delegate Hollis Lewis, Beth Pugh from Pugh Furniture as well. Hoppy Kurtzwell coming up with Talk Line at 10:06. Download the all-new Metro News TV app. My producer was Ryan Nicholson. Ryan, thank you so much. I will see you tomorrow. Till then, have fun. I love somebody.
WCHS AM 96.5 FM Charleston, 104.5 Cross Lanes, a WVRC media station. We're proud to live here too.